Alright, welcome to this assignment. We got 2.9 Unit 2 lesson 9.5, and you can see right here we need to copy the code from 2.7.4, which we will go back and do. First, I kind of want to show you what this page looks like. You can see here there's not really anything to this page other than the message, and there isn't even a name for the tab. But as we continue to do things in and put code in here, it should update. So first up, let's go to 2.7.4, and I already have mine pulled up. And we're just going to select all. Now you could just do Control A right here, but you can right click and go to select all, and then we can copy this, or Control C if you have a Chromebook, which you should. And then I can go back to this assignment. I just do a triple click, which is going to select all of the text there, or you can do right click, select all, and then I can do a paste in here, or you can press Control V, and this is going to show everything from my 2.7.4. Now this is exactly the same code because I selected everything from 2.7.4 and put it in here. Now if I save this and go into my new web page, you can see it updates with all that information, just like we've seen it before. And there's not a lot of formatting going on, and we're not really necessarily formatting anything in here. Yeah, we're just gonna be, I mean, some formatting, but it's more like styling for us. So the first thing that we want to do is to make a background color for the entire body of the web page. So you see the body is going to include everything, including our unordered list, ordered list, and list items, which is all we really have here, all the way down to line 58. Everything in between is going to be given that initial background color that we choose. So here, after body, so I'm inside the body tag. For me, it's on line 7, and we're going to make a style equals quotation marks, and we're going to do back, and this is a part of background that some students miss, but it's back G-R-O-U-N-D. So again, B-A-C-K-G-R-O-U-N-D, background, dash, there we go, dash, C-O-L-O-R, all lowercase, colon. Now I'm ready for the actual color. So let's go back to my browser window, and like I say, I've already got my colors open. I can use hex code if I'd like, but I think using a color that's already pre-planned is just going to be a little bit easier instead of trying to find what I want. And I like any three of these colors right here. So you see right here they've got the hex code for it, but they've also got the name deep sky blue. So that's what I'm going to put in there. So we're going to do deep sky blue, and then we'll close the quotations. And you saw as soon as we put that in there, it changed the color of all the rest of the code. And that's because it was thinking, oh, you want this to be all inside the quotations, and no, I didn't, which is why we needed the end of the quotation marks right there. Your program will likely put that in there for you, but mine didn't, so I have to put that in manually. Now this should change it. Now watch this. If I reload the page, you see it doesn't change, and that's because I didn't save. Yours, likely you will not have to do that, but I've now saved it, and I reloaded, boom. My background color is that deep sky blue, which again, I like this color. Now, do you have to choose deep sky blue? Of course not. You can choose whatever colors you want. It's completely up to you. Okay. Now, with staying with colors, let's go to our first unordered list here for me on line 11, and I'm going to go to my list items. Okay, so I want my list items to also have a color, so we're going to style these S-T-Y-L-E equals quotations, and then I just need to put in some kind of color here. And again, it doesn't matter what color you choose. I don't know, how about green yellow? Let's go with that, green yellow. So I'm going to name this one, I'm going to give it the color green yellow. Close quotations, and we see that changes. Let's see what that does to our web page though. Well, it didn't do anything. Okay. Well, let's see. And that's okay for now. Green yellow. Looks like I wonder if I spelt it wrong, because you see up here. Oh, well, no, no, there it is. I see it now. I have a style, but I've used the color. Boom, there it is. I did not say that I'm going to make it a color. So we're going to use color, colon. See how that changed the color right there? Boom. Found it. Now, that, by the way, was a decent exercise in finding an error. I knew that the only code that I put in was right here, and so clearly the error that I made was obviously in that line, which is why it's important to put a little bit of code in before you put more code in. Put in some code, run it. If it looks good, if it works, then come back and do more code. If it doesn't work, just like I did, see, I wasn't like, well, it didn't work, so I'm just going to keep going forward. I found the error and then I fixed it. And that was a genuine error right there, which you will see me make from time to time. But let's go and save this. And now let's see what happens. Boom. So you can see the text in the list. Every list item in that list is now that, it's not a very, I don't know if that's very legible. So think about this. If you were making a website, you'd want to be careful with the colors that you use, because here, this color is just not showing very well against the very light blue background, and so you'd probably want to use a darker green. Now, right here, you could say, well, I'm just going to use green then, or indigo, something darker, right? Now, that's a good reminder for me, because as I put in more colors here, I want to make sure I'm using dark colors against the contrast of the deep sky blue background, which is fairly light. So that's what I'm going to do here. I'm just going to go with dark green. Save. And again, I just want the text to show up a little bit better. So it almost looks black. That's how dark it is. Again, the point here is that I've made it a color, though. And this color is not actually black, but it's dark enough to see pretty clearly right there. All right, so let's go through the rest of our lists. And we're going to put colors in there as well. Now, you could go into each individual list item and style each one of those. I'm not going to be doing that right here. So here, this entire list is dark green, right, which we saw. Why is it not affecting the next list right here? It's because you see the list starts here with this indentation on line 12. It's not these list items. These are inside, right? So what is it styling? It's styling everything between where this list tag begins and where it ends, which is on line 22. So everything in between is going to be colored, the text, dark green. Now look at the difference here too. We have a background color, and here we have a color. So we know now that background color will make the background a specific color, and if you just use the color, the code color here, it changes the text. So could I put a background color in here? Yeah, I could just say right here, you know what, we're going to also do a background color, but again, I'm not actually going to do that. So background dash, I'll show it though. Color equals, well, we'll just do red, just to make it show up. Let's see, what do I need right here? Yeah, just a semicolon. I put a comma there instead. Save it, and if I run this now, okay, well, background color is red. Oh, I used an equal sign. Let's try a colon instead. Remember that? So sometimes you're just going to make mistakes. Just happens. Boom, there it is, red. And we've seen this before. We know how to do this, making that background color. By the way, this is still green text, but the background color is red. I really don't want that background color to be red, so I'm going to take this off. Save it, come back here, make sure it's working properly. Okay, so we're going to go into the next few items. We got the next class, which is how to know and defend your rights with Michael Badnarik. And this is our next list item here for me, starting on line 25. And we're going to do pretty much the same thing here. Make us, what happened there? Oh, I went to the wrong line there, so I must have pushed the wrong button. But here, we're going to have a style. Style equals quotations, and again, we're just going to make the text a color, colon. Remember, don't use that equal sign like I did. Color, and again, I think red worked pretty good there, so I'm going to stick with that. Save it, go back to our page, run it. Oh, I did the wrong list item. Okay, that's okay. It did still change. Okay, so we got this other class changed the color. I just went to the wrong list tag. I should have been up here. So let's stay up here and let's do again a style. equals quotations, and again, we're going to do a color for the text, colon, and now we're ready for the actual color. Let's see, let's find some good colors for ourselves. See, we got a green, now we got a reddish. So, I don't know, we got blue. Is there like a dark purple color? Well, I mean, indigo looks pretty good. Let's do dark slate blue. How about that one? So we're going to do dark slate blue. Now, if I've spelled that correctly, there's the end of the quotation marks. If I've spelled that correctly, it should come out very nice. There it is. So the color changed. That looks really good. Now we can go to Mass Media with James Corbett and put a style and a color in there. Try to be on the right line this time. Style equals quotations color colon, and again, let's just find another decent color for us. Midnight blue. Well, we've used blue. We've got two blues already. How about blue violet's going to show up very well. Dark magenta. How about that one? Yeah, that looks pretty good. Dark magenta. Hopefully I spelled that correctly. Save it and go to the web page. Run it. There it is. So we need one last color to put in here. Yeah, I think I'm going to leave our level 1 header alone, although we could style that in there. Maybe we will. Okay, just to set us up, style equals quotations, and again, we're going to have a color in here, color, colon, and then we just got to find another color to use. Oh, you know what, let's do this. Let's use a hex color picker this time. We'll go to a green, this darker green, darker, that looks pretty good. And again, I just click on this button and it copies this hex code for me. Then I can come back here and paste that code in there, close quotations, and save it. Let's see what this looks like now. So again, yeah, using that hex code still works. So you can use the names, you got your hex colors, and you got RGB colors as well. So let's see, we got colors for each of the list items for each of the classes, and then we've forced each of the items in the list to also be the same color, which does give us a nice look right there, indicating the difference or a transition from one class to the other through coloring. But the last thing they want is for us to give a font size to our level 1 header. So let's go ahead and do that. So I'm going to come back to my level 1 header. For me, it's on line 8. So I'm going to go to the H1 tag, which was already there for us, style equals quotations. And again, we want a font size for this, font-size, colon, and we're going to make this one, let's make it 40 pixels like this. Close quotations, and let's see what this looks like. Run it a little bit bigger, okay? And if we wanted to, we can also give it a color, right? So we can say semicolon, and maybe we'll do a background color for this one though. It's the title, right? Background -color colon, and let's find ourselves a good color there at the top. You know what? Here's what I'm going to do. Let's just make it white. And see what that looks like, and if we don't like it, we'll change the color. That looks like it's decent, right? And again, if you wanted to change the color of the text, you are welcome to do that. All right. Okay. Now the last thing they really want from us, and again, you can pretty much do anything you want and still get credit for this. But what they want us to do is find a class and bold and italicize a class. So for this one, if I were to look at these classes, which by the way, I would be excited about all of them, I especially like the Trivium, something I would like to take a class on the Trivium, but I see autonomy with Richard Grove, and I would very much like to take that class. So we're going to make this class, we're going to make it bold. Now let's start with boldness. Okay, so we're going to make it bold. And to do that, we're going to make it strong. Now, I don't want the strong tag right there. It'll be after the Richard Grove stuff. And in addition to that, so you can do this on the same line, but we're also going to italicize it, okay? Now, I just want the title of this class italicized and bolded, so notice right here, this is where I'm going to put my strong tag. Well, sorry, I did that wrong. Yeah, I put those out of order. Could have fixed that myself, but thank you, computer, for doing that. There is the strong tag, okay? Now notice I have the strong and the emphasis tag in the same indentation location, and that's because, and now I should indent my autonomy with Richard Grove because it's inside these tags, and that's because to me they're the same level tag, right? And it doesn't matter which order I put these in. Strong and emphasis are going together in this case, and so I don't mind having them in the same indentation location. So that's all we really need for this video. So that's it. Thank you.